video, I want to share with you how I used reference photos to help create my surrealism landscape. You can see it back here. There's a lot of detail in here, and I don't have it completely finished yet. I'm about 75% of the way there. So some of the animals, like this gibbon down here, is going to be brighter to match the level of color in the snow leopard. And I'm just going to refine the details and add a few more little surprises. Like I have this little piggy up there sitting in the swing. I'm going to add an animal or two in here in this bush. And so yeah, so there's a little bit more work that I'm going to do. I love allowing my surrealism pieces to evolve as I'm creating them. And so I can just let my imagination loose on them time after time. And I kind of create different iterations of that. And I'll share some of that, how I do that here in a minute. But I want to show you, here's one of the reference photos of the gibbon that I have here in the bottom of the piece. And this is a photo that I took of a gibbon from Tanganyika Wildlife Park in Goddard, Kansas, which is a suburb of Wichita, Kansas, where I live. And you can see this little guy. It looks like he's smoking a spleef, but I mean, he's chewing, or she, I don't know, is chewing on a carrot, I think, or sucking on a carrot, I don't know. But I just thought it was so funny. And so I was just like, look, you know, giving me a head trip. And so that's the title of the piece. Now, when I started making this, I didn't know what the title was going to be. I just kind of found this photo when I was looking through all the photos that I take of animals at zoos. And I was like, hey, this will make a really cute, you know, addition to the painting. and then I love puns, so giving me a head trip. Of course I had to take that and run with it for the topic of this piece. But you can see back here another one of the reference photos that I have of a snow leopard. And I have reference photos of a frog and a person holding a fishing pole here. They're kind of small, so I don't know if you can see them where the camera is in very much detail, but I have some other reference photos that I don't have taped to my wall here. This little guy, this is from Sedgwick County Zoo. So basically what I'm trying to explain here is that some of the reference photos that I use are my photos that I took. And then some of them I can't find reference photos for. Like the manatee right there. Here's the reference photo for it. And there are no manatees in Kansas, right? I would have to travel so far to find that kind of a reference photo, and I probably would have to have under the water camera equipment, things I don't have. So what I found is that there are lots of stock photo websites where you can purchase the right to use their photos as references in your painting, like iStockPhoto, wildlifereferencephoto.com, 123RF. There's so many of them. And sometimes people just find photos on the Google image search to use them as references. And that's up to you. I don't personally do that because I want to have the copyright for all of the images that I'm using. And so I purchase them to make sure, if I don't take them myself, to make sure that I have the right to use them. I started off with just creating this image on here, and I didn't know really what else I wanted to do. So I started off with the snow leopard, and then I started thinking, well, I wanted to make this kind of trippy day, nighttime landscape, because I love to make my work where my landscapes of day and night merge together. And so that's kind of what I did here in this piece. And so what I do is, after I get one layer on there, I take my iPad and I have my Procreate program on there. I'm gonna see if I can show you here some of the idea generation that I did. Now this is, sorry for my lights. And, now you can kind of see this next to my painting back there. You can see how I had this just kind of traced on there, but the color wasn't filled in. But then I thought, well, I'm going to put this little guy here, and I'm going to put the owl in there, and the manatee. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll put an owl up here in the sky. But then after I did it, I didn't really like the way that looked. And that's what's awesome about making your work digitally. As a kind of thumbnail sketch kind of situation, is you can try stuff out. And so I liked some of what I did, but I didn't like other stuff, and so I did not include all of it in the painting. And so then I painted more, and I took a picture of it after I painted more, and then I was like, so here's the picture of where I painted more, and then here are the things that I added. I kind of drew the orbs in the sky there with the cat. And they're just really rough sketches. And then I wanted to have something swinging from the tree up there, but I wasn't sure what. In my painting now, I have a little piggy back there. So I thought later that it would look cute. And then I knew that I wanted to make the gibbon look like it had smoke, but I wanted the smoke to be turning into something. So I tried lots of things, but I made it look like birds. And so then you can see the sketch that I made in Procreate, and then what I actually did on my painting. And you can see that there are a little bit of differences, but there are a lot of similarities. Like I said, I fleshed out that I wanted the pig up here, and then I was going to have the cat looking straight forward, but then I thought, no, I'll make a silhouette and have it stretching, because it's good to repeat things in a work. And so I wanted to have continuity between the silhouettes of the smoke that turns into the birds, and then the silhouette of the house and the foliage. And I thought to have another silhouette. It just creates repetition, and it helps your eye move around the piece. It's just like there's silhouettes and similar marks in the foliage and the way I made the branches. So yeah, anytime you can repeat something in a piece and create movement and repetition, the eye, as it's looking around, the viewer's eye, will follow that. And I don't know, I think repeating colors in different places also is a good thing, and so that's what I usually do, and that's why I'm going to make this gibbon brighter. Also, I want to have continuity throughout the piece. When you're thinking of a composition, you want to think about it looking really good from afar and really good up close. And so I always step back from the work to look at it, and then I look closer at it. But so what you want to do, or at least what I do, is I like to create areas where there's like some big color differences, which is why I have like a daytime and a nighttime area, because from a very far distance, even without seeing the animals, it's eye-catching. And if you have that contrast, it really helps to enliven the composition. So yeah, so these are some of my thoughts on using reference photos and designing a surrealism landscape. I would love to hear your thoughts and questions in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.